Hey y'all, so today we're going to be going over the working with real estate agents disclosure for a buyer. So this disclosure is something that you're going to see whenever you go to meet an agent for the first time. And what this disclosure details is the different types of agency we have for a buyer here in North Carolina. So I have my disclosure here with me. You might have a copy of it. If you don't, I can definitely send you one. But we're going to go over it from top to bottom. Now, this is a brief explanation of the disclosure. This video is not meant to replace the conversation between you and your agent about this disclosure. So starting from the top, you're going to see the first box that's outlined in black, a bold black line. So in that first bullet point, it is going to say, this is not a contract. Why does it say that? So it says that because after we explain all this information to you, and after you understand it, you ask your questions, we are going to ask for your signature. And this is because the North Carolina Real Estate Association does require us by law to give this to you. And that signature just proves that we're following the law. So it's nothing to be scared of. Don't feel like you're signing your life away whenever you go to sign it. It's just proof that you were given the information. So one more thing to note in that first box is going to be where it says, do not share any confidential information. Now, it says this because if you happen to not choose for that agent that's presenting you this disclosure to represent you, then they are automatically a sub-agent of that seller. So they can do anything and use any information to strengthen that seller's negotiating position. So just don't disclose anything confidential until you really know who's going to be representing you in the transaction. All right, moving down to the first one is called buyer's agency. So this type of agency is when you've decided for the agent and their firm to represent you in any type of transaction. And this type of agency is probably the best one. It's going to guarantee loyalty to you. All your information will be confident. You know that you have a whole firm behind you in the transaction, and they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that your best interests are at the forefront of this transaction. There are two ways that you can go ahead enter into a buyer agency agreement with an agent. It's either a verbal one, so basically you just both kind of agree that, hey, you're my agent and I want you to represent me, and vice versa. Now, the second one is a written contract, and that's going to happen no matter what. Whenever you go to make that first offer on a property, that exclusive agency agreement is going to have to be signed. But initially, it can just be a verbal, that's okay. Alrighty, so the next one you're going to see is dual agency. So dual agency is when one agent is representing both the buyer and the seller in the transaction. This happens usually whenever you have an agent in a firm with a buyer that's also interested in that agent's listing too. So in this situation, loyalty is kind of split, and negotiating can be kind of hard because in that box you're going to see where it says that firm has to treat both sides fairly and equally and cannot help either party gain an advantage over the other. The branch off of dual agency is going to be designated dual agency. So this is very similar where it's an agent within the same firm, but there's going to be a specific agent for the seller and then a specific agent for the buyer within that same firm. So with this, it's the same, you still get the benefits of a dual agency situation, but you also still get your own agent within that transaction. So the last one's going to be the unrepresented. So the last one is unrepresented buyer. So this is one that is kind of self-explanatory. So basically, you're not choosing any of the other options that we have. You're just choosing to not be represented. This agent is just really just helping you kind of get into the property, maybe answer any questions about the property, but they will not be helping you in any transactional way. There'll be no loyalty to you, and they don't have to hold any information confidential. Again, this video is just a brief explanation of what the disclosure means. So make sure you have a in-depth conversation with your agent to make sure that you really fully understand which agency is best for you. If you have any questions, I'm always available. Feel free to call, text, email. I love helping people and I love giving you guys this knowledge. It's really going to help you have the best experience when purchasing a property in North Carolina. Well, have a great day. See you next time.